2. Rose taking it to the goal, finishing with the left. What a move by Derrick Rose.
That was just beautiful. Because when he came in there, the defender, you're looking to go for the right hand. Instead, he came right back with the left, right in the face of the defender.
Now he's facing the basket in Grant Hill, isolated right side. Goes baseline, look at it! Look at it!
When you're 16 years in, you dunk in the first quarter when your legs are fresh. You don't wait till the fourth, and are you kidding me?
All day.
They switched on that.
Back to Rose. He goes up and packs it inside. I think Odin surprised him a little bit.
Oh, absolutely surprised him.
Hey everybody, Coach Sherwin here from AP Baller, basketball training that unifies the strength conditioning with the skills. Today what we're going to be looking at is first step development or speed training. When it comes to speed, we all know that that is what kills on the basketball court. The faster you are, the harder it is to stop you. But to be more specific, when it comes to basketball speed work, it's about short range speed work, change of direction, and seldom do we ever see somebody go the full 94 from one end of the court to the other. So when we do our speed development work, we're actually really looking at something more specific, which is their first step. Today we have pro basketball player AJ Bassi that will be doing our exercise demonstrations. But I should make a little quick note here. Basketball is played in 360 degrees. So the exercises that we're going to show you today are going to help you in all the ranges of, or all the angles of movement when it comes to basketball. So, straight away, diagonally, even laterally, because that is how we get the edge in basketball. Furthermore, you're also going to hear cues of stomping. And the reason why we want to do the stomp is to work or practice on recruiting or using ground reaction forces to help improve our rate of force development. I see a lot of people that are, when we are working on their first step, that they're very soft or they're very light on their feet. We actually, when it comes to the first step, we actually got to be really heavy on our feet because that is the most ground contact time that we are going to be using anywhere on the floor. When we're on top speed, we're light on our feet. But when it comes to that first step, we are really digging in and we are pushing off as hard as we can. So the exercises or the equipment that we're going to need today, bands and a basketball. So let's have a look. Let's go over there. And AJ, I want you to get into that band. And you can see AJ already put it on the opposite shoulder. We are going to be training his right foot or his right side. Now the reason for this is because when he drives into the lane or against defense, he is pushing off. Let's just do a crossover step or a cross step. And he's using that back leg or his right leg to push off, and then he's blowing by the defense. So we want to be able to have that mimic the defense, if you will. That band is right on his shoulder, so that's where the defense, it's pulling him down into this foot here to load it, and then he's going to stomp and push off. So he's got added ground reaction force because that band is pulling him down. Furthermore, that band is pulling him lower, or it supports him in playing in a lower position. If he didn't have it, then he would be a little bit more upright. He'd stomp, and he would carry on in a more upright stance. But that band forces him to go lower because he's got to fight that pullback, and then now he can explode out, which we want to play lower when we're talking about explosiveness, change of direction, etc. So, AJ, what we're going to do here, he's got a staggered or a straddle stance. He's going to stomp his right foot, and he's going to take that first step forward. Go ahead. Good. I want you to hear that stomp. Okay, he's got a solid stomp. is using or trying to get as much ground reaction force to help him get more energy from the ground through out to the exit point, which is going to be where the band is across his shoulder. So now imagine we had a defender right here. He's blowing by that defense, or if that defender is riding his hip, that he is controlling the defense and the defense isn't controlling him. So that gives him that powerful edge. We'll do about 6 on that side, then we'll switch to the other side, and then we'll go from there. So now, by adding this basketball, we're going to get it a little bit more game specific. So now we're going to work on his first step while ball handling. So he's going to have the exact same mechanics. He's going to stomp, he's going to take that foot forward, and he's going to put the ball down. Okay? Let's go ahead. Let's do about 3 here. Stomp. Good. Perfect. And relax. Again, I just want to make a huge point about this stomp. This is in no way trying to change the way you're going to play the game with your first step. As in, if you were to pick this up in a game and then go, obviously that's a travel. So what we're doing here is just trying to get you to practice and improve your ability to recruit more energy from the ground through GRF and then explode out. Okay, so then when we are actually doing this in a game, we are loading, we push into the ground, and then we pop forward. We're not actually going to do that stomp, not in a game, but when we do it in training, that's exactly how we want to do it. The second exercise is now going to be taking care of more lateral movement. We've changed the anchor point of the band, so you're going to have to do that when you're taking care of this particular angle, is move it a little higher on your anchor. With this here, we've also moved the band around his waist. And we're imagining that he is, I like to use imagining that you're a baseline and you're ripping through and making your way to the hoop. So you are going to move at a little bit of an angle, not completely horizontal or, laterally. You're going to move a little bit more diagonally. So just with the same concepts we had from before, you're going to stomp, or he's going to stomp, and then he's going to make his move. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Stomp, go. Perfect. We got a solid stomp. You can hear that stomp. Very powerful. So he is getting as much energy as he can from the ground, and that's transferring through to the exit point, right through his core, right through to his hip. Just like that. Perfect. And then we'll stop right there. Now to make this a little bit more game specific, he's going to now have a ball. He's going to do his stomp, and he's going to do a couple where he rips low, and he'll do a couple where he rips high. So let's go ahead. Good. Good. Let's do a couple of highs. Good. Nice. Perfect. Good. One more. Good. Okay, and so now for the final first step development exercise. While we covered a couple of offensive moves, what we want to do is also work on the defensive moves. So now we're moving backwards. AJ here is going to be, we got that anchor point lined up, midpoint, so right around his waist. He's going to get into that defensive stance. A couple of different cues though that we're going to work on here because we do want to make sure our defensive players are insanely quick, insanely explosive. What we're going to do with his footwork is that we're just going to have him slightly internally rotated with his leg. Okay, this internal rotation is happening at the hip. He is going to stomp and then he's going to pop off. Okay, let's go ahead. Perfect. Okay, good. You can see there's just this slight internal rotation and then he pops off, just like we were talked about with that improving your step back. He now is basically recruiting more muscles and corkscrewing the floor to get more pop into his step. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Pop. There we go. Good. And pop. Good. And that's it. So, as you can see there, we are only working on the first step. We haven't gone and done any real solid sprints because really it's not that necessary when we're trying to work on first step development. It literally is in the name. Where we would put this is in your power development program or power development training day. And this doesn't have to be at the end. This can be somewhere in the midpoint of your exercise. I would do about 6 per leg. Let's keep the volume low per set, keep the quality high. And we don't want to do this fatigued. If you are starting to feel fatigued after the 5th, maybe stop at the 5th, and that's it. And then you'll slowly build up from there. But really, we want to make sure that we are working on pure power when doing this particular exercise. Thanks for watching. If you want more information about basketball-specific training, give our Instagram a follow or subscribe to our YouTube channel for basketball training content to take your game to the next level.